I know, it's such a different type of a school year, isn't it? You have kids that are now virtual, some that are in school, and I'm thinking about teachers today. So to help on his radio, hi, it's Rob and Liz. Stephanie Baker from Life and Abundance Counseling Center is along with us this morning.
Yeah, and the first thing, I've started to kind of hear some grumblings and started seeing some things on Facebook where there are some parents that are kind of upset with school districts and teachers about what's happening. And as a teacher, you're doing all you can. How do they deal with that anxiety?
Well, it really is a different point, because it used to be, at least I say used to be, back when COVID first hit, it seemed that there was a renewed appreciation and admiration for teachers. And over the last couple of months, as we've gotten closer to the start of the school year, that seems to have become sort of contentious on social media platforms, and I think something that we need to remember here is that teachers are also, many of them, parents. And so they see both sides of the landscape here, trying to manage what they're going to do with their kids and what they're going to try to do in the classroom. And treating everybody with kindness and respect is a pretty important part of that. Just remembering that, there are teachers, if you're a parent, there are teachers that are in the same boat as you. Like, they're trying to figure out, when I'm not, or when I'm not at home, what's going on with my kids who are at home. How do I do that? I think the important thing here is that we also remember that teamwork, neither side can do it without the other. Parents need the teachers and the teachers need the parents. And so, there may be some things that teachers and parents can connect on, even things like putting together a co-op. Homeschooling parents have done that for a very long time, but it may be that now, within the community, some type of co-op can be put together to help the situation that we have now, so that when they're not actually in the classroom and they're doing distance learning, maybe there's a co-op to help with distance learning for parents who are trying to stay at work and be able to earn a living.
Yeah, certainly do need each other. And when you think about teachers today, they're certainly facing new types of challenges now.
Yeah. The logistics are a whole different ballgame for teachers this year. And the good news is that, it's not going to be quite the craziness that it felt like in the first couple of weeks when COVID hit. There's been some time now for most districts to think through what they want to do. There are not perfect plans. There will not be perfect plans. We know this. But just for teachers, for them, they're trying to just keep up with the extra requirements. It may be that in some classrooms, the children stay present and the teachers rotate into the classroom. So that alleviates a little bit of it. But then there are others where children are going to be the ones, different classes are going to come in. And between those classes, the teacher has the responsibility of trying to disinfect everything. The concern is, how do we offer also hands-on learning, things like shop, things like science labs? How do we do that? Because that requires extra disinfection and more, PPE than would normally, or personal protective equipment than would normally be required. And then, I've heard teachers say, gosh, we've had to, use our own money to put things in our classrooms before. What if there's not enough equipment now? What if there's not enough face masks? What if we run out of these things? And so they're very real questions. I was looking at a forum for teachers and just looking at some of the comments, and some of them were like, what happens if there has to be a substitute? What is that going to look like? Am I going to have to, if I'm quarantined, how many of my personal days am I going to have to, burn through? If I'm exposed, what is that going to look like? Who's going to tell us? That's a big concern.
What if a teacher does feel unsafe? If they're going to go to school and maybe some of them are already feeling that, how do they address that and deal with that kind of anxiety?
Well, I think the important thing there is trust, okay? And it's built just like in any other relationship. But I think going with the idea in mind that nobody knows 100% how to handle all of this. Most administrations are doing the very best that they can. They're trying very hard with the resources that they have. And so understanding that there's not a perfect solution, but if there are questions, going to HR, if you're concerned about your safety in a particular area, going to HR, going to the administration and giving them facts. There's a difference when we go to somebody with facts versus emotion. And so most of the time, if we're hyped up in emotion, it's going to be a hard thing So anyway, so we're trying to get get it where people understand, kind of come down a little bit, think through it before you present it. Maybe be part of the solution also.
Stephanie Baker along with us, Life and Abundance Counseling Center. We're talking about teachers in the new school year. Caregiver burnout. It's a term that's been used. It exists. And now this is like a term for teachers through COVID-19.
Yeah, it is. And I think, the best way to define it is to say that it's linked to what we consider the burden of taking care of others when it results in physical, emotional, or mental exhaustion. And teachers are very susceptible to that. I want to point out, too, that many teachers, not all, but many teachers are women. And women in their homes are typically more of the nurture, not that men can't be, but they take on the mom role, the organizing the schedule role. And so they're coming into this new situation with that. They're also dealing with, the fact that they haven't been able to connect even over the summer, probably with a lot of their students, and they're used to doing that. Some of them that I talk to are very used to doing that. And so they're stressed because they don't know how their kids have done, their classroom kids have done over the summer. That's all going to be new. But realizing that when there's burnout, when there's caregiver fatigue, what is a hallmark of that is your view of the world sort of begins to change. And so whereas regular burnout, I'm tired of my job, I want to go try something different, that's not what this is. This is literally exhaustion, physically, emotionally, mentally. Sometimes it's misdiagnosed, actually, but it really involves more of a sweeping change in your view of others in the world. Maybe like, I'm losing hope in humanity, or I don't see the good in people anymore. That can be part of what is caregiver burnout. And if you have that, it's really, really, really important. Or if you suspect that that's something you're experiencing, go and talk to somebody about it, because with a trained therapist, you're going to be able to work with that therapist. They're going to reframe what you're dealing with in a way that's more helpful to you and healthy. And they're going to work with you to put together a plan to heal. The good news is you don't have to stay in that place. That's the good news.
So true. Stephanie Baker from Life and Abundance Counseling Center. I do have to ask, I don't know if I'm allowed to ask this or not.
What's that?
But how are your eyes?
They're doing much better. Thank you. He's asking me that because there was a freak accident with hand sanitizer at my office earlier in the week. But I'm not very tall, and my front desk is. And so there's a bottle of hand sanitizer there. Let this be a warning to everyone. Like, the nozzle was kind of clogged. And so I went to push down on the nozzle, and it sprayed directly into my eyes.
Oh, man.
So, directly into my eyes.
My eyes hurt just thinking about it. But you're okay now?
I am. There was a little, area of a chemical burn in one of them, but my eye doctor is fantastic and so sweet. Saw me like right away and gave me some stuff. But thank you for asking.
Yeah, I did that with bleach a couple of years ago. I dropped a bottle of bleach and it just went whoosh right into my face. I went, no!
Yeah.
But I'm okay, so I can see just like you can, which is good.
I'm glad you're better.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm glad your eyesight is A-okay.
Yeah, well, same in return. I mean, that's hand sanitizer. Hey, by the way, if you would like to see some of these points and then some, because Stephanie wrote up a lot of great stuff that we'll have on our blog, you'll see that at hisradio.com. Just look for the Rob and Liz blog.
His Morning Crew.
All I can think is that you just have to smile if you're in charge now because of virtual school at your house. It's Rob and Liz, His Morning Crew on His Radio.
Yeah, I saw a friend of mine had posted on social media that she was thinking about pulling out some of those old recipes.
You like when we were in school?
Yeah.
Like the cardboard pizza?
Right.
That's one thing that I remember so well.
It was good, though.
No, not mine. It was cardboard. It's cardboard with a slice of cheese on it.
Let me tell you, when Friday showed up, I was like, yeah, pizza and corn day.
And corn?
Oh, it always was served with corn.
Pizza and what kind of combo was that?
I don't know, but for whatever reason, it really worked.
Somebody was like, hey, I know what we can serve kids in school on Fridays. Pizza and corn.
That was the good day. The bad day is when they threw that half a slice of pear. You know where I'm going with this. A half a slice of pear with a dollop of mayonnaise and some shredded cheddar cheese on top.
Ew.
And some of my, like when I was in first grade, second grade. The teachers would make you, before you could touch your dessert,
For real?
make you eat that. And it'd be
real?
like,
What's
I
what?
don't want all that, man.
That's kind of gross. All right.
It was nasty.
Well then,
So the best and worst, what was can you remember the worst?
well, all I can remember is cardboard pizza. But my thought could be, well, how about this? How about this morning?
Okay.
Since if your kid's home virtually at school, now you have to be school cafeteria.
Yeah, you do.
What are you bringing back? What are you going to serve to your kid? It's healthy food now.
It is.
What about the cardboard pizza or whatever it could be? The
Pizza and
combo.
corn.
Yeah, 800 or the corn. 800-447-7234.
Oh, look, we got Tammy. Tammy said she loved the peanut butter cake.
Peanut butter cake?
I do remember this.
I never had this stuff in Tampa.
Okay, so
What is this?
I think the cake wasn't peanut butter, but there was like an almost sugar icing. I feel like it was 99.9% sugar and a little bit of peanut butter on top. You mixed it together and it was a real thin layer.
Okay.
Am I right? I don't know. Okay. I'm getting the nods from our video department of yes, I'm right about the peanut butter cake.
So you guys had that?
Yeah.
No.
Really? Not Ian, but
No.
TJ.
Yeah, we had that at my school.
Really?
It was gross.
Oh, okay. So there's a gross.
Wait, he doesn't like peanut butter.
Oh, yeah.
Very
okay,
much.
there's
So, from a peanut butter lover, I'm down with peanut butter cake.
that. All right.
Down with the
So
sickness.
His morning crew.
it's very possible that your kids are home virtually at some form or fashion, like mine. My youngest is home a couple of days a week.
Yeah, because he only goes once, right?
He's going once this week, twice next week.
Okay.
The rest of the time it's at home, and then
Yeah.
they're going to refigure things out every single week, which means that my wife is in charge of the school menu. We've become the school cafeteria for our kids virtually, right?
Yeah.
So, if you were to bring something back from when you were in school, what would it be? It's 800-447-7234, his morning crew.
All right, we got a couple of texts. So Shanaha, and I hope I'm saying her name right. She liked the peanut butter cake as well, but she also said pizza and corn. They pretty much lived for Friday lunch.
They loved it,
They
huh?
loved it.
Okay.
It was good. All right, so Chuck, he was, I had mentioned the pear salad. He loved it. He said the pear mayonnaise and cheese thing is called a pear salad.
Ew.
A Southern staple, absolutely delicious.
Chuck has some taste buds, man.
I do not concur.
See, I'm from Tampa, so
Yeah.
this stuff doesn't sound, normal to me.
You didn't get the pear salad.
No, I didn't. I just remember cardboard pizza. That just stands out in my head.
And
Cardboard pizza.
Loved it around here.
I'm sure you did. Okay, Rhonda's along with us at his radio. What about you, Rhonda? What are you serving up for the kids?
The Bologna Cup, which we found out is now named Flying Saucers, and I don't even remember. There's several different names and reincarnations of it.
Wait, so you got to explain that. It's a Bologna Cup with what now?
Fried bologna with instant mashed potatoes and covered in American cheese. It was presented as a Bologna Cup when we were in school.
How did that thing
I-
taste?
It was probably not good if I remember it.
Rhonda, you're making this for your kids?
I threatened it. That we always have a discussion of, I'm becoming my parents of saying, it was like this when we were in school. A lot of these things went to the wayside. They're probably not the healthiest thing. We have joked with our kids about providing cafeteria lunches now that they're at home.
Rhonda, I think you should make the bologna thing.
I do too.
I think I will.
Good. All right. Yeah.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Wow, the texts are pouring in.
Yeah, they are.
His morning crew. I'm Rob. That is Liz. Okay, we're talking about school lunches from your past that you just might, serve to your own kids since they're home virtually. right? So you're the school cafeteria. So here's a couple. Here's Todd. He says deep fried beef and bean burrito.
Yum.
That must be a very odor-driven day. Kelly, breakfast pizza.
Yeah.
Joyce said homemade mac and cheese, and Tricia said the pizza burger. What's that?
It's like pizza toppings on a hamburger bun.
Okay, gotcha.
Open-faced. Yeah, okay. Barbie said, love the tater tots, but please do not bring back those overcooked green English peas. I make mine at home now like that.
You
I
do?
loved them.
You got to bring some ink. 'Cause I don't know what that is.
It's real mushy.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Tiffany, or Cricket says, chicken rings, mashed potatoes, and Fruitopia.
Fruitopia. That's all that mixed in fruit kind of stuff that's
Yeah.
like floating around in sugary syrup.
Yeah, that was an extra. I don't think that was served as normal. You had to come up with like $2 to get that Fruitopia.
Oh, for
I
real.
think,
Okay.
yeah.
Marion is along with us at 800-447-7234. Tell us about that school lunch you just might be serving.
It was a peanut butter bar. It was kind of soft and gooey, and it just had powdered sugar and little bitty chopped nuts, peanuts on top of it.
This is like a homemade kind of a thing?
It was, but they served it at our school.
What school? Because I am so jealous of you right now, Marion. We didn't have anything like that.
It was John C. Calhoun.
Awesome. And so whoever those lunch ladies, whoever was in charge of the nutrition there, they had it going on.
Oh, yeah. We loved it. Oh, yeah.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Whoever would have thunk, because we're virtual learning now for a lot of students. Some are in school, some are not. You know exactly where your kids are. If they're home, now you are the school cafeteria. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio.
That can be a lot of pressure. But you're thinking about what we had in school, and we loved pizza and corn. That was our thing on Friday. Always looked forward to it. Donna Kay said she likes the no-bake chocolate cookies.
Huh?
Remember that? They're like peanut butter and chocolate, possibly?
Never had them.
Yeah, like a drop
No.
cookie. Okay, so she loved those.
Okay.
Carol said the mashed potatoes and brown gravy.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good combination. I like that now.
Where's the meat?
Well, it was probably on the side of the meat. Maybe she
Could
did
be.
not.
The Salisbury steak
it
at the
probably,
side, right?
It probably was.
With all the
Salisbury
gritty
steak.
stuff in it.
The gristle.
Oh, yeah.
His morning crew.
Rob and Liz on his radio. As we think about you now being the school cafeteria, if you're all virtual now with your kids at home, learning at home, you're the one who's supplying the school lunch. So why not bring back what you used to serve or get served when you were at school in the cafeteria? It's Rob and Liz on his radio.
So we got a text from Melissa, and she said one of her favorites, she remembers, the peanut butter and honey sandwich, and she would dip it in her vegetable soup.
Peanut butter and honey in the soup?
Yeah, and I have never had that version of that. So I got a text from Angie. Now, I remember this. School vegetable beef soup and toasted cheese sandwiches. Listen, girl, I remember because those cheese sandwiches were so extra crispy. I don't know if they deep fried them, but you did. You had to get. I don't know how they get them that crispy. I have tried to recreate this because it was so delicious. Either tomato soup or vegetable soup. You would dip them in just to get a little
Does
moisture.
sound good.
Right?
Yeah.
It was very good.
I'm not into the tomato soup, but the veggie soup, dipping it in there, grilled cheese.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds good. Yeah. Give a
Sorry,
little
what was that?
Tim the Toolman Taylor there.
Good.
Okay, Tammy, save us here. What about you? You're on his radio.
We had baked spaghetti, and that was just where they, made the spaghetti and put it in the pan and then topped it with extra cheese.
Oh.
And the pear salad was good. If I recall, sometimes we've got cottage cheese on our pear salad.
Oh, that's even worse.
No, it's good. It's good. It's an acquired taste, but sometimes even with pineapple in the cheese.
I will have to say that does sound delicious with cottage cheese. It does, yeah.
Yeah. And then our pizza was the best. We went to a parent forum a few years ago at one of the middle schools that they just opened, and they served us the pizza, and I was like, oh, I love this. So
Did it have the corn with it on the side?
Yeah, we did have the corn. Something
What is
about
this?
the corn just complimented the pizza. I don't know what it was.
Wow, because I never had that in Florida. I grew up in Tampa Bay. They didn't serve corn and pizza together.
And then occasionally we would get a little salad, like a little side salad with, the lettuce and the carrot.
You got to counter all those carbs.
Yeah, exactly.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I avoid the donut place already. But now that Krispy Kreme is coming out with this one kind of donut, I cannot drive near a Krispy Kreme now. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio, because they put two things and mashed it together, and I like both, and I have to stay away from both.
Yeah, and there was a vote. There was a vote that was held to find this specific donut. Yeah, so there were three different Reese's donuts at Krispy Kreme that you could vote on. Well, the results are in. And now we have the classic Reese's donut. Do you want to know a little bit about it?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, but she's
Listen.
going to say it anyway,
I know.
isn't she?
I wish I had some sappy sweet music because it's just delicious. Peanut butter cream. Oh, sorry, Reese's peanut butter cream.
Uh-oh.
Covered in Hershey's chocolate.
No.
Topped with peanut butter bits.
My waistline's expanding already.
With milk chocolate
Ugh.
and peanut butter drizzle.
Oh, be quiet.
I know, right?
That's
It's
just a...
hold on, I got drool.
I know. That's just sin in your mouth.
That really is.
Good night. Reese's peanut butter cup and donuts mashed together like that. Oh.
Because a Reese's peanut butter cup, I'm sorry, it's one of the, if not the best candy bar.
It's my only candy bar that I like, and I have to stay away from it. I can't do sugar anymore.
Yeah, right. You know what? To me, the best Reese's product is that Reese's Christmas tree.
Oh, be quiet. Why is she?
It's the best.
This is like torture. Thanks, Krispy Kreme.
I know.
Mornings with Rob and Liz.
Over the weekend, Mark and Chantel, husband and wife, they're out surfing off the Australian coast. They're having a great time.
fun.
Oh, yeah. I wish I could surf.
Yeah.
I tried to do that when I was a teenager. It wasn't pretty, even though I said I knew how to surf. Why did I do that stuff as a
Everybody.
teenager? I'm like, oh yeah, I can surf.
Testosterone.
Forget it. That was just a horrible tragedy. And the girl didn't like me after that because I was doing. So Mark and Chantel, here they are. They're surfing, and then the scariest thing happened. A shark came up and got Chantel.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, just drug her right off the board. And so Mark is close by. He didn't know anything else to do, and he all of a sudden instinct kicked in, and he got all Evander Holyfield over the shark.
No.
He started punching the thing. So he's punching it in the snout, in the nose, in the eye. He's just going at it. Finally, the shark let his wife loose. So his wife is in the hospital. Had to go to one hospital, airlifted to another one. She has to go through surgery. But he saved his wife's life just by, just punching the thing.
Wow, can you imagine that instinct and that adrenaline that just kicks in? And I have heard if you get attacked by a shark, that's what you're supposed to do is just punch it in the nose.
You just hit the nose, yeah.
But who has the forethought to think of that when it happens? This guy.
He did it, yeah.
Hopefully it was just ingrained. It's in Australia. I mean, they have, I think, a higher percentage of shark attacks or shark bites than maybe we do around here.
No, well, still. Praying for Chantel.
Yeah, definitely.
She's got to get through all of that. And so I pray she has 100% of her leg because that's where she was attacked.
Yeah.
And I think they'll get back on the surfboard again.
Yeah. And her man's taking care of her.
Exactly.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Teresa's along with us this morning at 800-447-7234. What's up, Teresa?
So I'm calling because the grandma who needs stuff because she's raising her grandkids, if she'll call Taylor's First Baptist Church, they have what's called the Giving Closet, and it is for foster kids, which essentially these kids are, that has clothing and diapers and sheets and jackets and shoes and everything you can imagine for kids. And so she'll call Taylor's First Baptist Church. They can get her in contact with the people in charge of our Giving Closet.
That is wonderful. I'm glad your church does that.
Yes, and so and they don't have to have any paperwork. And sometimes if there's homeless people or whatever, they also help them. But it started with foster kids. Have her call there.
We will. Thank you for letting us know that, Teresa. I love your heart. And a lot more churches are doing that throughout the areas.
Well, I mean, the need is so great now. It's always there, but even through this pandemic and people furloughed, it's just greater. And so we're trying to find out ways that we can help get in the community. Yeah.
Yeah, and thank you for praying for that grandma, too. She's taking care of those kids by herself with just $600 for the apartment. So your prayer is certainly needed.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Once upon a time, there was a place that was magical that you could go and sit in a seat and get popcorn and watch a movie on a super huge screen. Those days are long gone. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio.
No, they're back.
Are they back?
Almost.
Finally?
Yes.
Since March?
AMC Movie Theater opening tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
And they're doing something pretty cool. I don't know if all the tickets are sold out or not, but 15 cents for a ticket.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, 15 cents.
Okay.
There's not a lot of real good movies out right now, but
no, there's not. So no wonder why they're 15 cents.
I know. But at the same time, if you are just itching to get back in the theater, 15 cents, not a bad deal.
Let me guess.
Okay.
15 cents for a ticket.
Yeah.
$85 for a bucket of popcorn. Am I close?
Probably. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. So they open tomorrow, and I think that ticket price is only good for tomorrow. They said they're going to go back to the very first year they were open, which was 1920. That's how much ticket was.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. 15 cents.
That's probably the equivalent of what a normal ticket is today.
I would think so. I would with the inflation. But Regal is also going to be opening. I think they're opening on Friday, and they have a couple of new movies. One's like a Russell Crowe movie. I don't even know what that's about. But there is a faith-based movie that's going to be opening on Friday called Tulsa, which was filmed in
Oklahoma?
No. I don't know. It's the name of the kid in the movie.
Oh, that's the kid's name.
Yes, it's
okay,
a father.
Not the city.
No, not at all. It's a father and daughter story, and it was filmed in and around Augusta, Georgia.
Nice.
Yeah. And so that is going to be one of the theaters. They're also going to do $5 classic movies at Regal.
Okay.
So you can see like old, even like Black Panther. I think that's one of the newest movies they're going to be showing for $5.
They call that a classic now?
It is now a classic. But also they're
Why are
throwing
classics not even 3 years old yet?
It feels like Black Panther came out forever ago because I'm waiting on the next one, and I think that's going to be a while. But but they're also going to show like Empire Strikes Back and stuff like that for $5.
For $5.
Yeah, and $87 popcorn, like you said.
Yeah, right.
His morning crew.
The newest college student in my family, Spencer, is a 2001 baby. In 2001, you'll remember September 11.
Yeah.
It's just so ingrained in your mind. If you lived through that time, it was just so horrible. And so they have the Tribute in Light now, where at the place where the Twin Towers stood, they have the lights that just beam up into the sky that signify this is where they stood, and remembrance of that. Well, because of COVID-19, you probably heard maybe last week that the Tribute in Light was not going to happen because of COVID-19 and all the people that come out and watch and take a look at that in person. And then the governor of New York said, we're going to let it go. So now it's back on, but we're going to be social distance. We'll even have healthcare people out on the scene to make sure that things are going to be nice and safe with health when it comes to that, because they wanted the Tribute in Light to go. This is the 19th anniversary of September 11th.
And I think, honestly, we need that beacon that, especially in New York City, as hard as they were hit, they need that physical light to see, to inspire and encourage them.
Yeah, it just reminds me of the light, the real light of Christ.
Right.
That's the only place that we can find hope. So hopefully that'll signify that for a lot of people.
I hope so.
Coming up on September 11th with the Tribute in Light back on. It is going to happen.
Mornings with Rob and Liz.
Virtual learning. Who would have thunk? A lot of people are forced into it now. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio.
I know one very, very smart mama who is not about that life, a lot of money to make this thing happen. What she's doing, she has a mom hack for your kids that are learning virtually. She has taken poster board because she and her husband and her 2 kids are all working from home. She's like, I can't afford to buy a desk for everybody. She got poster board and kind of folded it so that it would be in 3s, or bought the kind that's already that way. She put their names on it. She put a little rack so they could hold their headphones. She has their calendar right there. She has a pencil box right there in their little space, and it's basically set up on the dining room table or one of the other coffee tables in the house or something like that. But it's so that they are in their own space and they're not distracted by maybe somebody walking through the hallway or, the other child that's learning or
homemade
whatever.
Cubicle.
Very much like a cubicle.
Way to go, Mom. That's a cool hack.
And
it's so simple.
Right, and it couldn't have cost, that piece of poster board that she has couldn't have cost more than $10.
And she makes it into like 3 walls and then hangs the stuff on it, from a schedule to what today is supposed to bring. And I like how she put a little hook up there for the headbuds or the earbuds.
I do too.
Genius.
Right. She's got the little, what's that little sticky thing called that you hang it? I
call it a hook.
It is a hook, but it's one of those that's not going to hurt anything, not going to mess it up or whatever. But she's decorated it for each child in their favorite colors. And
way to go.
Yeah, made them a homeschool right there.
Smart lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, really smart lady for doing that. That's a great home hack.
I think so too.
For virtual learning.
Spiritual burning.
Heck, come here, you get your spiritual learning here.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Okay, reenactment, one side of the conversation of a telephone call
Okay.
that was made just recently.
All right.
Yes, you're not going to believe this, but there is a penguin in the middle of the road. No, sir, not as you suppose. It's only 12 noon. No, a penguin in the middle of the road. Seriously. Call the cops. Bring the police. Yeah, 911 conversation.
Okay.
One-sided. Very clumsily done. I'm sorry.
No,
But there was a penguin in the middle of the road. Literally, just walking around. Police came. They picked up this penguin from the middle of the road. They figure out the penguin escaped from a wildlife facility up the road. So they brought it back. Nobody knows.
Slippery fellow.
But he's just walking down the middle of the road, not a care in the world, traffic going by. Finally, somebody called, the police and said, yeah, come get this penguin.
That is
In the middle of the road. This happened in England, by the way, nowhere around here.
Yeah. I just can't imagine, what everybody else passing him was thinking, but what was the penguin thinking?
Just waddling around.
Like, this is pretty cool.
Not a care in the world.
Huh. It's like Mr. Popper's penguins.
Yeah, only no Jim Carrey.
No Jim Carrey at all, but they are the cutest things. I love penguins.
You're a penguin person?
They are just the cutest little
You and my
faces.
daughter would get along very well.
Oh, good. Amanda called me.
His morning crew.
If you are a nurse or you're a healthcare worker, you work those long shifts. A lot of times they're 12 to 15 hours at a time.
They're so long.
Right? And if you need to run errands, when do you do that? Well, there is a nurse that works at Mary Washington Hospital. Her name's Stacy. And she started seeing this happen at the beginning of the pandemic, that a lot of her coworkers would work all day long taking care of other people, and then they didn't have time, or the stores were starting to close earlier, and they couldn't get those staples, toilet paper, hand sanitizer, whatever. So she said, there's got to be something I can do about this. So just in like her wing of the hospital, she decided, I'm going to make a little pantry. So I'm going to stock up when I see these items, and I'm going to put them out here, and you just take what you need. Yeah, and if you have something extra of one of these items, you donate it. So the word started to get around the hospital. They decided to do it hospital-wide.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Nice.
So they have a pantry. Take what you need. Give what you can. Take what you need. Kind of a pantry. There's everything there. Sanitary wipes. You've got toilet paper. You've got toothpaste. You've got diapers, non-perishables. So things like spaghetti sauce, goldfish, snacks.
Nice.
A little bit of everything. Anything you can donate that stays good, that is non-perishable, you can put it there.
From this vision from a nurse who walked around with a cart.
That's right.
And now it's on tables.
Yeah, it's actually set up
for
in the
the
hospital.
staff to take.
Yeah.
That's great.
I think so too, because how defeated are you when you've taken care of people all day long and you can't even kind of take care of yourself and your family because you can't find those things?
Well, good for them.
It's good for her.
I
Yeah,
hope that
definitely.
there's more hospitals that'll follow suit
I think
because
so.
they're leaning on each other.
You have to. We've all
Yeah.
been leaning on each other for the past, 8 months?
Sure have. Seems like 20 years
Yeah.
now.